Donald Trump's unlawful blockade of Venezuela is an act of war. That is how the international community is going to interpret this. And this is not because of their feelings, it's because we all are part of the UN and we agree to a code of conduct between nations. Now, what the Trump administration is going to try to gaslight you with is by saying, oh, no, it's not a complete blockade, it's not an act of war, we're just blockading oil that's being traded on the black market using sanctioned vessels, sanctioned oil vessels that have been trading with Iran and North Korea. But let me explain to you why this is effectively a complete blockade, even though Trump is going to try and say that he's letting goods go through and that he's letting food go through. The Venezuelan economy is entirely dependent on its oil exports. Most of that oil is traded to China, and a lot of that oil is traded on the black market. By completely blocking off the base of the Venezuelan economy, Trump is going to force massive inflation, an eventual shutdown of government services, and potentially the first famine in the Western Hemisphere in I don't know how long. Because without the money from the oil that Venezuela is trading, they won't be able to buy the food on the international market that they need. Now, as we've seen in the Middle East, the famine doesn't start immediately, but that is among the very dangerous possibilities that could result from Trump's illegal blockade of Venezuela. Another very likely scenario resulting from a blockade and effective collapse of Venezuela is mass migration and a destabilization of Latin America. Destabilize the Western Hemisphere, and the United States is going to see more migration. And that only serves Trump further, because this manufactured crisis will, in the minds of his supporters and in the minds of people who are not paying attention, give him the political capital that he desires to be even more ruthless with his immigration crackdowns. Remember that ICE now has a larger budget than the United States Marine Corps. It is Donald Trump's ultimate desire to use ICE as his domestic Gestapo in a war against the American people. But you shouldn't feel completely hopeless in all of this, because most Republicans are not on board with a destabilization of the entire Western Hemisphere, so Donald Trump can, feel like a big man. So take a few minutes out of your day, call your representative in Congress, whether they're a Republican or a Democrat, call both of your senators, and you don't need to go into detail. You just need to say to whoever picks up that phone that you want to make sure that your representatives in Congress do absolutely everything that they can to restrain Donald Trump and to stop him from provoking a new war. If he continues down this path, it will be disastrous for everyone.